Breaking news, you stinky butts. It's still hot in here, man. It's fucking hot in here. It's so fucking hot in here. I gotta turn the lights down because they're too hot. So hang on. Let's just do a little experiment here. Oh man, that's much better. What's up? What up, everybody? Welcome on into the stream. Let's see. AC busted? Nah, the AC's not busted. The fucking planet's busted. Look, it can't figure out where I am. It's like autofocus. All right, I'll turn the light on. Everybody just chill. What about that? What about just some like noir lighting, you know? Like just partially. It was a cold, stormy night when we had to talk about Superman being mid as fuck. I don't know. All right, everybody relax. Philip, thank you for the gifted membership, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you. Let's see here. Mr. Jazz 202 says with a 10 spot. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate it. I actually want to move this over here, though. Hang on. Move that over there. Says, in the TV spot, Clark says he was sent to Earth to help the world be a better place. Do you think this statement kind of debunks what you heard about the Kryptonians being inherently bad? Goddamn, coming in hot. Mr. Jazz 202 coming in hot. We really want to talk spoilers and shit right away? Speculation and stuff like that? Is that what we're doing that? Are we really doing this? Should I address that? I guess what I'll say is, oh god, it's so. By the way, this shirt says Super Dad on it, so you have to be nice to me. What should I say about this? I would say, I mean, number one, we don't know if the leaks are real. We don't, you know, and Gunn has been a little shifty with, you know, the leaks and the rumors. He's debunked some stuff, but also I feel like there's been some stuff that he's sort of laid out there for people to latch onto, and then it's not been real. I'm actually like really curious. I'm super curious to see how, how was this movie actually made? You know, some of the stuff, we're going to get into some of the reactions today. And it does seem like there's some people out there kind of hinting here and there that there was some misdirections in the trailer and whatnot. You never know what that means, right? But that is out there. So, I mean, technically, could Gunn have hidden a whole bunch of stuff from us? Sure. You know, I guess that's technically possible. Number two, you know, ADR is certainly a thing. And I would not be surprised if there was some stuff in the trailers that was changed. You know, from the movie, so that's an option. Yeah. And also, too, I mean, wouldn't it be crazy if, like, David's Superman is like, I was sent here to make the world a better place by destroying you all and becoming your king. That would be dope. That'd be a crazy twist. Is Superman movie only... This is an interesting one here. Is Superman movies only made for dog owners or something? Yeah, pretty much, yeah. You know, it's like, again, Gunn took a really crazy stance here against cat people. I don't know why he keeps making these really, like... He's taking these divided issues, man, and just further dividing up the fandom. You should see the Reddit threads of the cats over dogs. You know, that's one of my favorite subreddits. 9 Lives Get Fucked. You know, some of these other subreddits. The cat people are really mad about Gunn. Kind of crazy. Dogs better. Oh, this seems like a heated poll. Let's go to the polls here. Cats versus dogs. Let's see who wins. Cats or dogs? Let's see. Cats. Dogs. See what you guys say. See what you guys say, huh? So, in all seriousness, guys, we are going to go over some of the Superman reactions. I am going to need a little help, though. I am the worst content creator and streamer on the planet, so I have not even aggregated what people are saying. I know I saw Robert Meyer Burnett said some shit, so we'll go over what he said, but I'm assuming there were other people. I kind of thought it was a little strange that there wasn't more people talking about it, but I guess they are not supposed to talk about it. I'm not really sure, but there's definitely stuff out there. So we'll get into it. We'll look at the reactions that people are having. Let's hear enough about the divide in the fandom. How are we going to divide up that 500 for Warhammer figures? That's a great question. I got to tell you, I played a game last night, and I think Papa's going to need another Land Raider, man. Dude, I think we're going back to a Land Raider thing, particularly with the Dark Angels. So I have one Land Raider. I need to finish painting it. But I might need another one. So maybe we'll just get a Land Raider, like a nicely painted Land Raider, you know? Philip Hatch says, I just hope Gunn gives Ryan Airy his dog back. Yeah, they do kind of look similar, huh? You know, dogs are kind of funny. Hey, David, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Oh, you got a vacation starting tonight. Whoo, boy. Enjoy that. Yeah, dogs are kind of funny, man. Like, I like dogs, you know what I mean? Like, I like dogs. Never been a crazy, like, dog person. Had dogs growing up. You know, my wife, when we were dating early on, wanted dogs. We got dogs. I fucked up and chose Shiba Inu, which they look so cool. They're so beautiful. But they're annoying and terrible. So I like dogs, but dogs are kind of funny because there's all kinds of dogs, you know, like some people like those little yappy, scrappy dogs, you know what I mean? Some people like big dogs that are like aggressive and angry and, you know, whatever. Some people like dogs that are really kind, you know, like labs or whatever, right? Dogs, it's kind of funny, man. There's actually a lot of variety in dogs. The worst dog I ever had was a Chihuahua. And dead ass, I'll tell you a quick little story about this little Chihuahua thing, man. I got this dog with my ex, okay? And my name was on the paperwork, and she was kind of being ridiculous, like she wanted the dog. And at first, I was like, hell nah, but kind of just like being a dick about it. I was like, nah, man, my name's on that. Like this is my dog. Like you can't, you know, whatever. Like, literally, the very next day, it bit me. I texted her, and I was like, you can have the dog. Literally. I was like, fuck out of here. Because Chihuahuas are little assholes, dude. They're the fucking worst. Little asshole dogs, man. Yeah. Yeah, so I was like, fuck out of here. You just bit me for the last time, motherfucker. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so we'll talk Superman. Who else said stuff about Superman? I assume other people saw Superman, you know? It seemed like Gunn, and this was actually pretty surprising to me, chat. It seemed like Gunn selected a varied group of people from different walks of life. You know, a lot of people that actually have been critical of DC and him in the past, you know, and I give him a lot of credit for that. You know, the easy move would be to grab all the shill access media people, you know, and the people that you actually employ and shit. You know, people that you know personally, people that you know are going to go soft on your shit, people that like your shit. Like, that would be the easy route, but he didn't do that. You know what I mean? And you got to give him credit for that. He grabbed a varied group of often critical folks. And so the first reaction should actually give us a real idea of what Superman looks like, instead of sort of like this sort of created, produced reaction from folks that were obviously curated I'm joking. He did the other thing. Hey, I'm joking. He did the other thing. He grabbed all the motherfuckers that would go super kind on it. And by the way, I heard from a lot of these people behind the scenes, they fucking hated it. They hate it. So here's what's going on with Superman, okay? 100% real. No need to fact check. Listen, here's what's happening with Superman. Right now, you can probably feel it in the air. There's a tension. There's this vibe sweeping across the land like a shadow. Everybody knows it's fucking terrible. But they don't know how to say it. They don't know how to... And by the way, again, these were the people that were curated. These were the people that were hand-selected. Okay? And they don't even like the shit. Okay? And so you can see it sweeping across the nation. Superman is dog shit and everybody knows. Okay, I made it all up. I made that up too. You might be a little confused at this point. Yeah. I'm sorry. Here's the truth. Didn't get a lot of sleep. Feeling wild, baby. Feeling wild. You know what? In fact, let me throw a couple ideas at you, chat. You let me know. It's too wild? Too crazy? So, just let me know. Do you think this would be too crazy, okay? I was thinking about hiring a production crew. Okay, walk with me on this, okay? Because I can produce content too. Okay, I know how to think things. So I was thinking about getting a production crew, okay? And we roll up to my mom's actual house. Don't tell her we're showing up. And we just roll up to my mom's house, right? And we just knock on the door. You know, she's like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, Mom, can we shoot a rap music video in your basement right now? And we get like her candid reaction and shit like that, and you know, whatever. So then we go into my mom's actual basement and we record a rap battle, a battle rap music video. You know, James Gunn, back from the canceled tomb, got booted from Disney, and the jokes still loom, you know? Live from the basement. Live from the you know what I mean? And just like spend thousands of dollars and make this like the cleanest, crispiest battle rap music video. Live from the basement. You know, we'll workshop it. We'll workshop it a little. Your 500 is gone, bro? Maybe. We'll see. We shall see. We'll get into it. Gotta add 14 Snyder fans, he mentioned. I had a line about Snyder in that I was writing it. You know, not to say that I'm actually doing this, but I definitely had some Snyder lines. Yeah. I think there's a line in there. I couldn't get this to rhyme, but I kind of thought, like, just let it linger. You know, one of those kind of lines. Where it's like, something like, thinking you're cool with the white spiky hair, but you look like a Hot Topic employee. It doesn't even rhyme, but it's just, like, funny. And, like, just let it linger. And then get into a different verse. I don't know. Yeah. I'm feeling feral today. I'm feeling silly, goofy, out of fucking control, man. Out of control, man. Josh used to work at Hot Topic. I actually never did. I actually think working at Hot Topic would be pretty chill, though. It seems like a chill job, you know? Feels like a chill job. So that's what we're going to do. We'll go over the Superman reactions. We got to talk about Thor Quest, guys. Did you guys hear this stuff about Thor Quest? Also, I need more help on this one because I'm terrible again. When Daniel reported about Thor Quest, did he say it was a show or a movie or just a project? Because I thought we weren't doing big Avengers in shows like that anymore, right? What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? Malibu's Most Wanted? Bars? You should call it live from Gun's basement, dress up like Gun, and have a... Oh, no. Oh, no. You had me in the first half there. You had me in the first half. Yeah. Worked at a GameStop. It was cool. I bet GameStop's a chill place, too. Although, you know what? I had this really funny experience. It was either during... I think it was during lockdown still. Do you guys remember when the GameStop craze was going on and everybody was, like, making a bunch of money on GameStop? God, dude, 2020 and 2021 with all the free fake money was a time. That was a time to be alive. So the GameStop thing, right? Like I bought a bunch of GameStop stock. That's actually why we used to do the $200 GameStop gift card giveaways, because I was like, fuck it, dude. You know? Pimp the stock. Anyway, I made a bunch of money off GameStop. And I remember I went into a GameStop like right out of lockdown, and I remember asking the employees, like, oh, what do you guys think of this whole like stock thing? Like, this is crazy. Like, dude, your whole company got saved by this meme moment thing, you know? And they hated it. He was like, oh yeah, we fucking hate it, dude. I'm like, what? And he's like, it's so stupid. It's so fucking dumb. And then everybody comes in there and asks about it just like you. And I was like, whoa. Pump your brakes. Yeah, I'll never forget that shit. Like, seriously. They were like, all right, hang on. Let me check something here. Just gotta. Yeah, they want to pay more. Yeah, exactly. They were like, bro, my life still sucks balls. Shut the fuck up about this money you made, you know? Fantastic Four got 34 million views on Marvel official TikTok account. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that too, actually. I have that written in the notes. Yesterday's Fantastic Four trailer blew the fuck up, dude. It did some big numbers. Did some big numbers on a lot of social media platforms. A lot bigger than the Superman numbers. Which is interesting. So we'll get into it. Did you hear that Jensen Ackles wants to be Batman? I think Jensen has wanted that for a long time. He did didn't he voice Jason Todd in that Red Hood movie? Or did he voice Batman in that film? Either way, he was good in that. Because even back then, he was like campaigning for it a little bit. So, all right, guys, let's find these Superman reactions, man. Let's find these Superman reactions. Oh, and we got the clip. We gotta watch that clip, man. Superman flipping tables and shit. I know Robert had comments. Anybody else have comments, man? It cannot be that he's the only person that talked about this. Right? Let me check the Reddit, actually. You know what? You guys are supposed to help me out, you know? God! All right, let me see if I can pull this up. Silly and big. Okay. Okay, does this aggregate? It's very silly and very big, says viewer Anon. Uh-oh. Okay, we'll go over that. Viewer Anon has some comments, but there's got to be other ones. I know Robert Meyer Burnett had some comments, which, by the way, why did Robert tag Zack Snyder? Is that like a petty thing? Is that just like a boomer thing? Like, I don't understand it. Like, why are you going to tag Zack in that post? I understand saying that Gunn said that, but tagging him is just, like, again, it's either one of the most boomer things I've ever seen, or it's malicious. Huh? Guys, you know what? I know that here's what's going on right now. I need you to understand this. I need you to understand this. You guys are like, Josh, you're really bad at this. And I get it. But in this moment where you're supposed to be finding the stuff for me to watch, you're proving that you're even worse on it. Like, you guys are supposed to be finding what other people are saying about Superman, okay? Like, You guys are failing right now. You're fucking this up. It's your job? Yeah, and one day I didn't come in prepared for the job. Didn't you see the stream was 15 minutes late? Didn't you see it's really hot in here? Holy. All right, don't worry. I'll find it. My God. I guess we're just going to have to see what viewer Anon said. All you Superman fans, you know, you could have found positive things to say about it. All right, let me see if I can find Robert. Robert Meyer. Where are you at, dude? Are you kidding me? I thought I was following him. Was I not? Oh, I spelled his name wrong. That's why. Robert Meyer Burnett. Oh, boy. Here's what he said. Oh, man. What the fuck? All right. Any other ones, guys? Seriously? You have nothing else to contribute? There's no other reactions to Superman? You got to be shitting me. I guess we'll just do the clip then. What the hell is this? Adam spamming. Ban him. Hey, okay. I found this on my own. This wasn't Adam finding the aggregate article. This was all me. Let's chat. Let's get the clip going. Act like we were chill the whole time. Cool. Here we go. Perfect. Love it. Okay. Superman! Ladies and gentlemen, last night, a bunch of shills and Access Media motherfuckers got to go to a super secret, extra special, posh, congratulations kind of a screening. I'm being a little rude about it, but that's actually what it was. It was a whole bunch of people that got handpicked to say that they would like the film. Now we're going to go over what the reactions were. In all seriousness, this is the first reaction that many different people have had. This is the first time a big crowd of actual fans has seen the film. So it is worth going over the actual reactions to the movie. So let's go over a few of those right meow. We'll start with this one. We're over on comicbasics.com. James Gunn's Superman Final Cut reportedly very silly and very big, like Superman 2 on steroids. Guys, hang on. Trev, I'm glad you're in here, and congratulations because you're going to be on the Clips channel now. But Trev, I want to make sure. Superman 2 is like the one everybody hates, right? I forget, but like, is Superman 2 the one that everybody hates? I just want to make sure. Let me know. James Gunn's new Superman movie is shaping up to be a wild ride, according to early reports about the final cut. As the film gets closer to release, insiders are starting to share what fans can expect, and it sounds like the tone will surprise a lot of people. Oh, that's Superman 3? Okay, fair. Which one was the one that Office Space ripped off? Was it Superman 2 or Superman 3? As the film gets closer to release, insiders are starting to share what fans can expect, and it sounds like the tone will surprise a lot of people. This tone thing is really interesting. A new report from industry insider viewer Anon says the movie has been described as Superman 2 on steroids. That comparison suggests it will be packed with action and energy and not shy away from being loud and over the top. Viewer Anon added that the film is very silly and very big. That's a clear sign that Gunn is leaning into his usual style, mixing humor with spectacle. Right. Fans of his past work on Guardians of the Galaxy or Suicide Squad know he isn't afraid to take things in a fun, unexpected direction. It also seems Gunn's version of Superman won't be as serious or grounded as earlier takes on the character. So here's a little back and forth here. So this guy, the dorky comic nerd, says, how would you describe the tone of this movie based on the final cut? Viewer Anon says Superman 2 on steroids. That's kind of interesting. Snyder Man says, who at Snyder Goat 12. I wonder how he feels about James Gunn, says, can you explain more? Viewer Anon says, it's very silly and very big. Guys. We're going to go over more reactions for sure. Definitely can't just take what one viewer Anon is saying. But so let's keep going. But I do want to say, what do you guys make of this? Very silly and very big? I mean, real talk, what do you guys think of this? Because, I mean, to me, it just reaffirms everything we have been saying about the film ever since the screening late last year and a lot of the reports that have revolved around that. Very silly, very big. And apparently this is after a lot of the jokes got removed. So, yeah, I think it kind of just goes along with what I've seen from the trailers with the sort of tone that I was a bit nervous about. And I got to be honest, like, I don't think if I end up really liking Superman, I do not think it's going to be because of the tone. I think it'll be because of the spectacle, the action, the heart. I'm not crazy about what I'm hearing for the tone. However, here is an interesting statement, and we'll go through some of the back and forth here from Robert Meyer Burnett. Let me adjust this for you guys so you can see this a little bit better. Okay, so, what in God's name is happening here? Okay, there we go. Okay, Robert Meyer Burnett says, a friend saw James Gunn's Superman today. Oh, wow, you know what? I thought it was he that saw it. That's interesting. Okay, so a friend saw James Gunn's Superman today. He said it's 180 degree away from Zack Snyder's version. Now, that is an interesting thing to say. We'll come back to that. He told me a lot of things, probably too much. He said the trailers have been a bit of a misdirect. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I wonder what that means exactly. But the most important was he really, really liked it. That is good. That's good to know. For the record, it's not as though viewer Anon is saying that people did or did not like it. He's just kind of describing what the tone is. Cheesy always says, you can't wait to see a review. You've always been the fairest when it comes to criticism. You're the GOAT. Oh, okay. Well, that's not really helpful. This is Vague AF. What? You want me to tell you Jor-El appears in the fortress and some shit? Oh, wait. Okay. Friend. Okay, so he's not really given any more. Not really given any more here. But, okay, so a couple of things that let's drill down on. So a friend of Robert Meyer Burnett's is saying that it's a 180 versus Zack Snyder's vision. Now, at first glance, and again, I think this is probably Robert's fault. I mean, it just seems petty. It seems weird to tag them both in it. But I think he might just be a boomer because from what I've seen of Rob, he actually enjoys Man of Steel a lot. And I think he likes Snyder and he also likes Gunn. So, this might just be like sort of a boomer moment. It might not be as malicious as it seems. I think Rob is a fan of the old while just trying to tell you that the new is a complete 180 from it. However, I gotta tell you, I don't know that messaging is going to be good or effective right now. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, and this is probably the biggest unanswered question of Superman overall and of the DCU. We look back at the Snyder era. We look back at, even the Justice League, Snyder Cut, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, all those films, right? And I think we get an impression of that time period that it wasn't very successful or like the fans weren't really all on board, which is true. I mean, the fans were not on board. And it was obviously not successful enough to like warrant its own further creation. Not all Zack's fault, but BVS, the theatrical version that landed, I think really just sent everything off kilter. But the question is, how much of the fans that actually loved that shit are really and truly not down with what's going on with Gunn? This conversation has been sort of hijacked by a lot of toxicity and memes and just bullshit. But I think if you strip a lot of that away, it might be just as simple as, hey, you offered up this version of DC for years. People fucked with it. You know what I mean? Not to say everybody did, but a lot of people fucked with it. And the truth is, you look at those box office numbers, they're huge compared to basically everything that's come out since, right? So, you know, you strip a lot of the bullshit away, you strip a lot of the pettiness and the internet shit away. At the end of the day, what we're going to find out is, can this corporation that offered a very different version of these characters now turn around after years of it falling apart and feeling like middling and disconnected? Can they now refocus, offer up something completely different, and grab a good portion of those fans? Now, for all the shit I give Gunn, and for all the skepticism I have of, you know, the tone and a lot of other things that we'll get into, I think that so far so good. You know, definitely a lot of things that haven't done that he hasn't done right. But check this out. This is an interesting metric. If even a dude like me is still excited to see Superman despite everything that's going on, and honestly, even despite the tone that I might not be in love with, I'm still willing to embrace the movie, have fun, and be excited for more, then that is self-evident that he has at least gotten some motherfuckers like me, right? And I'm pretty hardcore. Like, you might not even expect, especially if you only follow my Twitter, you might not expect that of me, but that is where I'm at with it. I'm open to all of this. I'm going to see it, and I'm actually hoping that it's really good and that I'm excited, right? But it's just weird that we have to, like, I guess what I'm saying is, it feels like it's a little weird that Robert has to make this point, but if we understand that Robert has to make this point because Gunn made the point in the film, then it's like, man, it's inherent to it. That meaning the conversation is caked in, right? Will that help the movie, or will that hurt the movie? That's an honest question that we do not have the answer to. But what we can kind of tell just from kind of what Robert's saying, and I think if you look at what viewer Anon said as well, it adds up to be that this is a 180 from Man of Steel, dude. You know, this isn't postmodern. It's going to be very cartoonish, very floaty. You know, I saw some people in the Discord saying feels like Superman the Animated Series, or maybe, you know, Justice League Unlimited, the Bruce Timm stuff. Yeah, it does. It does kind of feel, and that I would say is cartoony, but maybe in a way that works and that'll be good, right? So far, just in these two reactions, and then we have an aggregate website that I found on my own. Did a lot of research for this segment here so you guys could have all the info. We'll go into that. But so far, we have viewer Anon kind of saying, silly to the max, Superman 2 on steroids. And then you have Robert Meyer Burnett saying, it's a 180 away from Zach. And the guy I talked to really liked it. So that's pretty interesting. Let's now get into even more. Okay, so let me adjust this for you. So we're over on Fiction Horizon. Early Superman reactions pour in, and they're all saying the same thing. Ooh. A group of fans in Brazil got an early look at James Gunn's new Superman movie. Wait, when was this published? Okay, yeah, this is current. Superman movie, and they're loving it. Warner Brothers screened the first 30 minutes of the film at a special event, and even though viewers... So this is attached to the 30 minutes. This is not the screening that happened so far. Okay, so slightly different. We'll go over some of these, though. No way I saw the first 30 minutes of Superman, feeling so hopeful the entire day. Needless to say, it was damn beautiful. Time absolutely flew by, and Superman himself and the cast were right in front of me. That's pretty cool. First 30 minutes of Superman is a fresh new perspective on the character. David is so good. Switching from Clark to Superman, the chemistry with Rachel is peak. We've seen a lot more. Very cool. Got a chance to watch the first 30 minutes of Superman. It was amazing. James Gunn has done it. Super stoked for this one. Holy, just saw the first 30 minutes of Superman. The fly scene was unique. Can feel the speed of Superman. IMAX is a must for this movie. Okay, pretty interesting stuff there. Again, that is not... And now I'm actually going to tell the truth. Adam found that article, okay? I was trying to be cheeky. Adam Fanjecture in South Jersey found that article. I would never fuck up like that, okay? Just want to be clear. All right. So we've got varying opinions here on Superman and the tone. Let's watch this clip, man. Where's the clip? Where's the clip? Let me find this. Let me pull this up. Here it is from Jimmy Kimmel Live last night. And this is a clip, a scene between Lex Luthor and Superman. Definitely want to know what you guys think of this. And the reaction of this has been a little all over the place. So let's see what you guys think of it. Uh-oh. Need to adjust. Let me adjust this so you can actually see it. What the hell? Okay. Let's watch this clip together.
Lex, I tried to stop him.
It's fine, Mother. Superman, we finally meet. Would you like a coffee?
Where's the dog?
Dog?
The dog, loser! You took the dog!
That's right, Eve. Get all of this.
Where's the dog?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
He's just a dog.
I don't know what dog you're talking about. Ugly dog and a cape.
What did you say?
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be...
Lex, I tried to stop him.
It's fine, Mother. Superman, we finally meet. Would you like a coffee?
Where's the dog?
Dog?
The dog, loser! You took the dog!
That's right, Eve. Get all of this.
Where's the dog?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
He's just a dog.
I don't know what dog you're talking about. Ugly dog and a cape.
What did you say?
So did nobody know how to say, like, no on the set? You know, like the words like no, or maybe something more like don't do this, or are you serious, James? You know, stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm a little confused. No, in all seriousness, what do you guys think? What do you think of the clip? I fucking hate it. But, it's only representative of probably like 80% of the screen time when we're in the theater. That, you know what I mean? So I want to be fair too. This is only probably the vast majority of the time that you will have in the theater when watching the film. So I'm interested, man. You know, like genuinely, I'm interested to see how people react to this. Like, I'm just, a little bit of memes, but let me just be serious here. I don't like this scene. I don't. And I think it's silly. And I'm, you know, like, to be honest with you, there's all sorts of things you could say. Like, maybe Clark shouldn't get that anger or whatever. That's not even, I don't even have that problem. I don't have that issue. I mean, I've got more of an issue of like, how does he not know that Luthor is just lying? How is he not like just more using his power to like understand the physiology of Luthor or whatever? I don't know. It just, that to me is a little bit, but it's the cartoonish, like, I don't know what dog you're talking about. And then he's like talking shit into the mug. Like, I'm sorry, man. It's just not for me. Like, it's just not for me. This is not what I like. But I guess here's what I'm going to say. It is a little bit of a tough pill to swallow when this is actually what you're seeing in the promotion, and then you have Robert Meyer Burnett saying it's a 180 on Man of Steel. You have viewer Anon saying it's very silly. I mean, not just silly, but like very silly. Okay. I just not for me, but to be completely fair and to be, you know, just real about the film's chances and whatnot, this could absolutely work. Like it's hard to predict how will the mainstream audiences feel about this. You know, if you look at the movies that are making money this year, right? You look at Minecraft. You could probably show me every goddamn scene in Minecraft, and I would probably have the same feeling where I'd be like, yeah, it's just not for me. Like, it just feels too silly. It feels too weird. And yet that movie fucking blew up, you know, TikTok people in the theaters, all this sort of stuff. Superman might have the exact ingredients necessary to absolutely cook in this environment right now with where audiences are at. I think a lot of people just want to go have a good time. Maybe for a lot of people, like, I think there's probably like multiple things that are going on. For me, this doesn't really feel like the Superman in DC that I would really get down with, that I'm like really going to fuck with. but it's not like so bad that I would reject the product. I would imagine there are some fans that feel this is actually right for the character. I mean, Superman is a character that's been around for 75 plus years, okay? There are various versions of Superman. You know, we have a member in the community, I'm not going to name names, but we have a member in the community that's like trying to kind of make it a thing where if you don't like the Superman movie, you just don't like Superman comics. But like, that's such a ridiculous take because Superman comics have been wildly different throughout the course of 75 plus years. There's Golden Age, Silver Age, you know, modern, and even within the modern scope, there's all sorts of different versions and variants of Superman. Different writers write him a certain way. So that I actually think that what I'm trying to say is, like, if you like this version of the comics, I'm absolutely certain there are certain types of stories and moments within Superman's lore and legacy that feel similar to this, but there are obviously other versions. There are obviously different times. There are different writers, different takes. So you might like your Superman just a little bit different. The truth is, Superman has that cool ability where he does change throughout the years, change through the ages, and he's usually like made appropriate for the time. Dude, Hank says, let the kids enjoy the movie, Josh. That's actually 100% appropriate. As I was watching this, I was thinking, I really don't like this, but my son might. You know what I mean? Like, real talk. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I think kids might go for this. Now, I don't know, because kids also think they're real cool and they like to reject stuff that they don't think is cool. So it's like, oh, kids are fucking tricky. If you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. So maybe this works. Maybe this plays for the majority of audiences and maybe fans fuck with it. I would say for me, though, and remember, too, part of this is, if you strip away the memes and you strip away the shit talking and the competition and all this stuff, part of this is just simply calibrating our expectations. The worst thing in the world would be to go into Superman expecting it to be this thing, and it's nothing like that, and then you're disappointed. So even for a person like me, it's important to like realize, oh, bro, he probably did just make Guardians of the Galaxy Superman. And that might not be for you. So just go in there, try to not get triggered by it, the silliness, and just try to enjoy it for what it is. The spectacle still looks great. The action still looks great. It's probably not going to be one of my favorite films. You know what I mean? Like, just being real. Probably not going to be one of my favorite films. And to be honest with you, I might be more excited to see what a different director does with Superman further down in the canon of this universe, right? So think like Jon Favreau, you know, you have... oh man, I'm blanking on the incredible dude that did Thor 1, or Sir Kenneth Branagh, you know, doing Thor 1, and then you eventually get into some stuff with, you know, Taika refreshes Thor, and you have the Russos sort of refresh the MCU, taking it to a more like street gritty, you know, thing with like Captain America, etc. We could get to a point where there's a version of Superman that I fuck with a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So that, I think, is the best I can do as far as like, guys, here's what's out here. Here's the clips. Like, here's what they're actually saying. I think the secret's out. I think Superman's a really silly movie. That doesn't really excite me. It doesn't kill the movie for me. It just adjusts my expectations for it. Okay? So that's kind of where I'm at with Superman. Would love to know what you think about it. What do you think about it, man? I know it's a hot button topic, man. Elijah says, I have zero interest in what Holly Weird has to say in 2025 about our icon of truth and justice in the American way. They have nothing to offer. I understand the sentiment there, and I think a lot of people probably agree with you. There are times when maybe even I agree with you. But the truth is, it's not that your take is wrong. It's that it's incomplete. It's too generalized. It misses important details. Not everybody in Hollywood is like that. You know what I mean? It's not like a big, it's for all that it is kind of a cabal of sin and debauchery, it's not as much in the creative process as you might think. Okay? There are people in Hollywood that are well-meaning. There are probably people in Hollywood that actually want to turn it around, that want to do justice to these things. So I don't fully agree with you. However, I think what Elijah's comment really points to is a strong vibe that's out there in the zeitgeist. I don't think he's wrong as far as like a lot of people agree with that. You know what I mean? And that's a tough thing because I don't think Hollywood has a great answer for it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they have a great answer for that. So we'll see. Will Gunn be hurt? Will the Superman movie be hurt simply because of anti-Hollywood sentiment? Maybe. It has been strange to watch, some of the more anti-channels or whatever, like anti-woke channels or just critical channels or whatever. It has been weird watching them kind of turn on Superman. I don't, fully get it. I mean, maybe they're just genuinely concerned that it won't be great. Hard to say. So I have a lot of trouble calibrating for where the audiences are actually at with Superman. You know what I mean? It's actually kind of a puzzle. And you could say, I guess that could be a benefit to them, to be honest. It could be the case that the marketing is so good that it's actually hard to tell how many people are really not fucking with this movie. That's actually effective marketing as well. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I guess we shall see. There are channels that are more anti-woke than this one. I'm not anti-woke at all, actually. I know, I think I get roped into that group because I will try to, on principle, reject certain things that the studios do to sort of virtue signal or to say that they really care about these progressive ideas or whatever. And I'll usually on principle be that's silly. So for instance, when they were going to make the Asian dude Sentry, okay, just hear me out on this. When they were going to make Steven Yeun the Sentry, they were going to change his name to Bob Kim Reynolds. I'm dead ass. Okay? They're going to name him Bob Kim Reynolds. Okay? And I remember I said on social media, Shine posted about this, revealed it or whatever. And I said something on social. I said, white people will do shit like this and then pat themselves on the back. Okay? That's what, so if you think that's anti-woke, if you think me saying that is anti-woke, you've lost the plot, not me. You don't know what the fuck's going on. You're just cheerleading people and you probably got nothing going on up here. And hey, it's all good. Appreciate the viewership, but lights on, nobody's home kind of situation. Whoa. That's all right. Yeah, see, but that's what I mean, Horse Mag. The fact that you actually think that, you're the butt of the joke. You're the one that the people with an IQ higher than the temperature look at and think are foolish. And I don't need you to understand that. It doesn't matter, bro. Your opinion will literally be looked over by all groups of people, all of them, because it's so silly. But anyway, more on Superman. What are our thoughts on Superman? Fahrenheit or Celsius? Some of you Celsius for sure. Some of you Celsius for sure. Temp's pretty high down. The temp is high, baby. You're right. Temp's high today. If you're a Superman fan, you will at least see it one time. I would imagine that's probably true. I think a lot of Superman... I mean, dude, how often do Superman fans get a Superman movie? Real talk. It's not often. Don't like the clip. I don't like the clip either, man. Whew. That's a... whew. I don't like that clip, man. Who's your favorite Superman comic writer that fits more of your preferred vibe? I like Tomasi. I actually thought Tomasi was doing so good, not just on Superman, but also the Super Sons stuff. So I really like Tomasi. I like Grant Morrison's take. Grant has done some incredible, All-Star, but even New 52. I liked Morrison's Justice League a whole bunch. And Superman's really cool in the Grant Morrison Justice League, particularly in the... well, my favorite story was the Mageddon story. Do you guys know about this story? Hey, how many of you guys have read Grant Morrison's Justice League? Real talk. How many of you guys have read Grant Morrison's Justice League? Have you ever read the event called Mageddon? It was so cool. Yeah, Mageddon. Oh, dude, one of my favorite Superman stories. Well, I guess it's a Justice League story, kind of a DC story. So Grant Morrison was dealing with like this incredible depression and like mental health like stuff. I forget the context. He might have lost a loved one or something, but I remember he talked about this in an interview. And so he created this planet-sized entity called Mageddon that caused the reptilian part of the brain of everybody that was near it to like overactivate, and you'd get like all animalistic, and we'd just tear each other apart. And so this big planet called Mageddon is like flying towards our galaxy. And as it's getting closer and closer, different beings within the DC universe start to be affected by it and shit, including to a point Superman. You know what I mean? It's such a fun story. Yeah, I really like that one. You know, one of my favorite Superman stories, dude, is Alan Moore. Alan Moore wrote a lot of people consider it the transition from the Golden Age into the Silver Age Superman. I could be getting that wrong. Maybe it's Silver into Modern. But it's called What to Get for the Man Who Has Everything, I think, or Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. It's one of those two. I don't remember the exact title, but it's really cool. Mr. Mixelsplex or whatever that dude. When I was a kid, I had a DC. I actually probably still have it somewhere. I had a big like Through the Ages Superman book, which went through a lot of the Golden Age stuff, the Silver Age stuff, like when he would fuck with like Hercules and Samson a lot, which is what Grant brings into All-Star much later. Some of this was even newsprint, you know what I mean? Like in the newspapers. So I had a book when I was a kid that went through all the different ages of Superman. But, you know, to be real, I don't know how much of that actually like stuck in the brain. It was just cool, right? Like I would just read it and I'd be like, dude, what? He's like arm wrestling this guy, you know, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So, but I would say my personal favorite's definitely Grant. I thought Tomasi did an incredible stuff. I loved Tomasi's stuff. And then like when Luthor was becoming Superman with the mother box kind of outside of Fear itself, I actually really liked that. So my favorite Elseworlds are like, dude, Red Sun is incredible, which I think was Mark Miller, right? Mark Miller did Red Sun. So, no, wait. Mark Miller did the Apocalypse one, I think. Mark Miller did the one where he is raised on Apocalypse. Oh, that's a good Elseworld with Superman. Then there's Speeding Bullets Bat, where he becomes Batman, and that's really cool because he's out at night, so he's not he's not as powerful because he doesn't have the sun. Red Sun's really cool. New Frontier's really cool. What Darwin was doing there. Yeah, those are probably just the ones that like stick out to me that I like. So, yeah. Yeah. Appreciate you, Austin. Thanks, bud. Thanks for the support, man. Become a member today. LMAO, the gun toxic fans are coming out of the woodwork. What do you mean? Oh, in chat? Oh yeah, no, that's okay, bud. That's all right. You know, they're pumping the stock. They just don't even know it. They don't even know it, but they're pumping the stock. Breaking early reviews for James Gunn's Superman call it the best Superman reboot since Man of Steel. Oh, that's bold. Ooh, that's bold. Chris Hill says, love that call out of Josh Austin. He is the best, and I really like him. Thank you, Chris. Really appreciate it. Mr. Penguin with a 50 spot. Oh, damn. That's nice. Says, I know we're talking about Superman, but what do you think about this idea for Ironheart? Oh, fuck. Instead, where it was Tony's daughter and dealing with her dad lost and having trouble keeping up with the legacy that would set up Doom and Dr. Doom. Yeah, that's a way better idea. So, Mr. Penguin, what I'll say is this, man. I'm just so uninterested in talking about Riri Williams or the Ironheart show, okay? And I get that people want me to talk about it, but, like, this is one of those situations where I'm not baiting. I'm not trying to make content about it. I just legitimately don't want to watch the show, and I don't want to engage in the conversations about Ironheart. Okay? So some people will say that, and then they'll make videos and do a bunch of tweets about Ironheart. So a lot of people will be like this. I can't believe they made this show. This is the absolute state of Marvel. And then secretly they're like giddy as fuck because they get to make a bunch of content about how they can't believe Marvel made this and it's the absolute state of Marvel, okay? Which, by the way, it's a free country. You know what I mean? And Marvel's fucking up because they're giving those people ammunition. So, like, I don't even have... It's not like I have a harsh opinion on that. But the truth is, like, that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is legitimately, like, not interested, no thank you. That's different. Like, I'm actually not watching it. I'm actually not making content about it. I'm actually not engaging in the conversations. Like, I just deadass don't care. And the thing is, like, everybody has opinions about the character, this, that, second, and the third. To me, it is weird to say you don't care about a character and then spend all your fucking time talking about how much you don't care about the character. That's silly. If you really don't care about the character, if you really don't care about whatever it is, then just don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't care about it then. But the thing is, too, like, I guess just because you gave me $50, I will say, I'll talk a little bit of shit, I guess, on Ironheart. I mean, look, obviously, the daughter of Tony Stark, especially within the context of what's going on with Doom, which we don't fully know, but let's just be, you know, real. It's probably something there. The daughter of that guy exploring grief, dealing with legacy, and then maybe having to deal with him actually returning in some way. Like, obviously, that's super fucking compelling, okay? But the other thing is this, like, what is Ironheart, okay? We can, if we just call it what it is, right? It is a derivative remasking of Iron Man to go after different types of readers. Like, how is this, like, God damn it, chat. God damn it, chat. How is this not obviously what it is? Does anybody even disagree with that? Like, real talk, especially you, Noob Master. And I know that Noob Master's a huge fan, man. Noob Master 99, always in here, always supporting the channel. Love it, man. Thank you so much, Noob Master. But even Noob Master has to admit, Riri Williams is a reskinned derivative of Iron Man to go after different types of readers. Like, how is that? Hello? Don't we know what that is? And you either are down with it or you're not. I don't even think it's that fucking deep. Like, it's not like they're turning the frogs gay because they want to potentially go after new readers and viewers. How is this controversial? Hello? Yeah, dude. And by the way, like, okay, so maybe you don't like this particular effort. Maybe you don't like this particular version of it. What do you want the fucking companies to do? Just make the same stories forever? Of course you want to branch out. You know who else was a character that they just created to try to go after a different kind of audience? Harley Quinn. And look at that. That's been a successful version of it. Harley Quinn has been successful. Now, do I think it's a bit weird that everybody wants to be Harley Quinn and hold her up even though she's clearly mentally ill and been abused by the Joker for years? Yes, but that's a separate conversation. From the standpoint of commercialism, they created a new character to try to go after a different kind of audience, and it worked. People love Harley Quinn. So, like, why are we getting in this weird... Like, the one thing that I don't like about the, the grifters or, like, the anti-woke channels or whatever, it's like we want to act like we're stepping into a room with that zero context, and we see what's going on with Ironheart, and we're like, oh, my God, I can't believe they're making a derivative, diverse version of Iron Man. That's so disingenuous. It's like you don't even watch your own channel. You've been bitching about it for 6+ years. Of course they're doing shit like that. At what point is it going to get boring to make that criticism of stuff that is obviously just doing that? Like, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, dude. Ironheart. Awesome conversation. Great thing to be a part of. I'm going to tap out, though. Is that good, Mr. Penguin? Is that okay? Mr. Penguin follows it up. God damn it. Says, yeah, that's the problem with today media. Just because you don't like something, has to be emotive when it's not that deep. Thank you, Mr. Penguin. Totally appreciate it. Much love. I think you guys, a lot of you guys get where I'm coming from. You know? Like, a lot of you guys get where I'm coming from. The truth is, like, I just definitely don't want to participate in that conversation. I think I've made my stance on Ironheart clear. It's just not for me. Nothing against nobody. You know what I mean? Marvel, I see you. Tip of the hat. Trying to get new fans. Trying to maybe branch out. Totally get it. If I wasn't 14 projects deep in the last 5 years on a year average and I was so fucking burnt out, maybe I'd even check it out. But I'm not going to. Not right. All right. Anyway, what else do we got to talk about? Should we talk about Fantastic Four trailer numbers? Or should we talk about Thor Quest? Let me see here. You know what I wanted to do? There was some pretty compelling data that came out for the Fantastic Four, man. Maybe we talk about this a little bit. Unless you guys want to argue more. Hey, does anybody here subscribe to Daniel's Patreon? When he talked about the Thor Quest thing, does he mention whether or not it is a show versus a movie? You are allowed to not like Andor, but if you don't give it a chance, it's not genuine. I gave it a chance. I watched the first 3 episodes. Stormy! I missed your super chat, but okay, here's the thing, Stormy. I don't go back for super chats anymore. And everybody's like, oh, dude, you're just so fucking mean. You're so greedy. Ah! Dude, here's the thing. Here's what we're going to do, Stormy, okay? It's a teaching moment. By the way, you look great in your pictures. You've been working out. You look good. Here's the thing. I acknowledge the super chat. I acknowledge the support. And I thank you for it. Now just tell me what you were going to say in the chat. Just put what you put in the super chat in the chat, and I'll read it. Is that fair? Is that a good compromise? Or is that still not good enough for you guys? Is that still not good enough? Holy. Thor Quest, probably Thor Core on Battleworld. That'd be cool, man. I don't think so. But yeah, it could be cool. Could be cool. We all know you don't know how to, Josh. Lie don't. Okay, gotcha. You missed my super on Tuesday, and I was fine with it, but also I never got knighted. Okay. Well, hang on. Now I'm waiting for Stormy. Hey, Trey T, welcome back to the Nerd Vengers, baby. Appreciate you, man. Josh, does Hulk go savage because of Doom? So Hulk, from what I've heard, and I don't have this confirmed, okay? But from what I've heard, Hulk actually goes savage because he falls for an OnlyFans girl, and he starts dumping money. And you know, he's got like some residuals, some disability. Like, he's got a lot of money pouring in, not to mention, you know, different, you know, things he's working on, patents, etc. So he's spending a lot of money on this OnlyFans girl. And like a lot. And after about a year of this, from what I understand, he asks to meet up with her, like IRL. And she like, nah. So. Noah says with a 5 spot, we get you, Josh. I still don't remember giving you permission to play with my heart like you did Tuesday. Anyway, take my money. Much love, sir. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you. You missed my super chat too. But what I said was I didn't send one, so I got your attention for free. Maybe you should go back and check. God damn it, Dan. Dan just figured it out. Now I'm gonna start ignoring the I missed your super chat things, and that's your fault, Dan. I used to have only. My God. Okay. See the link? No, I didn't see the link, man. What link? What are you linking there? Marvel reportedly work. Okay, that might be a movie. Thanks, Trev. Hey, you know what, Trev? Doing so much better than Adam, you know? Let's go. Canada! Oh, Canada! I used to have that whole thing memorized. I don't even remember why. It's just kind of a bop. Guys, I'm never going to admit this again. Okay? I'm never going to admit this again. We're going to probably have to delete the VOD. But I'm going to give Canada a little credit here. And it hurts. Their national anthem? Kind of a bop. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. All right, let's never bring that up again. Okay. What the hell? More Thor? I thought he died or something. Let's get into this. Let's break this down here. This comes from Daniel RPK, and I was kind of interested about what exactly this was. We'll get into this article, and then we'll see what it has to say. Marvel reportedly working on a new Thor project that might not be a movie. Wow. With numerous Marvel projects said to be in the works in the next couple of years, talk around Thor 5 is starting to pick up. While nothing has been confirmed yet, fans are definitely buzzing. Director Taika Waititi recently responded to a question on whether or not he returned to a fourth movie, but he didn't sound too interested. Good. He said it's not something he is currently working on or planning to do anytime soon. That update was a bit of a relief for many fans. While Waititi directed Thor Ragnarok, which was widely praised, he also made Love and Thunder, which many consider to be the weakest in the series. Damn. Meanwhile, Chris Hemsworth is confirmed to return as Thor in Avengers Doomsday, something Marvel made official during a live-streamed cast reveal of a bunch of chairs for 5 hours. His trainer even shared details about Hemsworth's intense workouts and strict diet as he gets ready to play the God of Thunder again. There's also a new rumor floating around that another project related to Thor is in the works. According to Daniel Rickman, Marvel's working on something called Thor Quest. Rickman shared the info through his Patreon page, but details are still unclear. It's not known whether it's a movie or a show or something else entirely. Interestingly, Thor Quest isn't a brand new title. In 2023, Disney Books released a children's novel called Thor Quest, Hammers of the Gods. The story followed a young Thor, Loki, Sif, and Fandral as they went on an adventure full of monsters and mistakes. Oh my God, I just had an idea. Holy shit. I wonder if they'll do this. Interesting, Thor Quest isn't... Oh, yeah, we already did that. The book told the story of how Thor first came across Mjolnir and was written by Fandral's point of view. It featured comic panels, maps, and illustrations meant to appeal to younger readers. Okay. Co-author Jackson Lansing said, "This is an untold story of how Thor first encountered the hammer that would change his life forever and told him from the perspective of his best friend Fandral and his new rival Sif. Young fans can expect a whole new perspective on the God of Thunder and his incredible adventurous world." There's no word yet on whether Marvel's rumored Thor Quest project is connected to this book, but it's probably not aimed at kids. Still, the timing and title make some fans wonder if there's a link or some inspiration drawn from the illustrated novel. Until Marvel makes something official, everything about Thor 4 Thor 5 and Thor Quest remain up in the air. But with Hemsworth back in action, rumors heating up, it's clear the God of Thunder still has more to offer in the MCU. Have something to add? Let us know in the comments below. Okay, so Thor Quest... Not sure if it's a movie or a show. Let's get into this. Let's break this down. So, as far as we understand it, what the hell's going on with my mic today, dude? I like to move the mic a lot. You know, I like to get handsy with it, and it's being a real bitch today. So, anyway, I'm gonna get canceled for that. Thor. What do we know about Thor? Well, we heard some people say that Thor was likely going to die in Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars. That is a little bit supported by the little tease in Deadpool and Wolverine, which of course shows Thor crying over Deadpool. And it's like, whoa, what's going on here? Does Thor maybe get up and then sacrifice himself after that or whatever, right? So we had some reports of that. Then there were other reports, like I think Shine came out. She initially confirmed the reports that Thor was going to die. Then she walked it back and said, oh, Thor 5 is actually in development. What? That's crazy. Maybe he won't die. Now, what Alex Perez continues to tease is that Thor may well die in the next two Avengers movies, but he would then probably end up in Valhalla, which, interestingly, is also where Natalie Portman's character is. That's where Heimdall's character is, etc., etc. So with all of that context, Thor Quest. I would imagine a lot of people, you know, and we even had some people in chat earlier that were kind of speculating, oh, is this perhaps a battle world thing? Is this perhaps, you know, something that's going to be adjacent to Secret Wars? There were a lot of rumors that another Thor movie would be a battle world film, right? But I don't think so, guys. I think Marvel clearly knows how important Doomsday is. They've delayed the thing by 7 months. They didn't stop shooting. They've been shooting. I can't imagine that they're going to just turn around and shoot a Thor movie in between these two big movies. It just doesn't make sense. It feels like there's so much going on. Of course, that's still technically possible, but I highly doubt it. Okay, so with that in mind, we're probably looking at something that happens in phase, 6, 7, or whatever, post Secret Wars, post MCU reboot. Now, I have been fascinated with the idea of the reboot because I think the first several movies in the reboot have a lot of heavy lifting to do as far as getting the audience on board. You have to be able to easily explain what is the canon, what are the differences, and the only reason you're doing a reboot, like, just hear me out on this, the only reason you're even doing that is so you have like a fresh starting point, so that there's not baggage, so that you can have an entry point. Like, that's what they're doing it for. They realize, especially after Phase 4 and all the Disney Plus stuff, that it's become homework, it's become bloated. They want to refocus the story. So, new story, new universe. The movies that you have begin that, very important. I think X-Men is likely one of those films. Okay? I would imagine Black Panther 3 is one of those films. Okay? I would imagine this Thor thing is one of those either films or shows. Okay? Now, let's talk a little bit about the show thing. Recently, so a couple of months ago, Jeff Snyder had a report, which, by the way, Jeff hilariously got the Denis Villeneuve Bond thing wrong. I don't know if you saw that clip, but Jeff was like, take Denis off the list. He'll never do that movie. And he just got confirmed for that. It's just kind of funny. Little side note, we all get stuff wrong. It's not a particularly malicious dig. I just thought it was funny. Jeff's still really good. And several months ago, Jeff reported that Marvel is changing the way they're going to do the movies versus the shows. Jeff had said, no more big-time characters in the shows. You're not going to get Vision, Wanda, Avengers. They're not going to be in the show. The show will be small, grounded. The main story of the saga will be pushed forward in the films. Okay, that's the idea. That's the concept. With that in mind, and by the way, Daniel just confirmed this the other week too, right? So now you got Daniel and you've got Jeff saying the same thing, okay? So if that is true, then it's hard to imagine you would do a Thor Quest show and it actually be Thor, okay? Now, I will say, and I think most people would hate this idea. Chat, let me know. Let me know. Technically, there's times where Loki is reincarnated as a young boy. There's even a time where Loki is reincarnated as a young girl, okay? Would you guys absolutely hate it if after Secret Wars we had Loki and Thor, but they were kids? Like, how would you guys feel about that? Would you hate it? I mean, yeah, a lot of people are saying they would hate it. It's definitely weird. Okay, it's definitely weird, okay? But, fucking hate it. Okay, all right. Oh, hey, oh, okay. Holy kids is crazy. Yeah, but I mean, technically they could do that. Technically there's precedence. I don't know. Would Odin come back? Yeah, why not? That'd be kind of fun. Odin could be like the college age brother that has to watch the kids but doesn't want to. That could be cool. So anyway, probably not going to do that, but technically that's possible. You know what this probably actually is, if it's real? It's probably a quest through different realms via Valhalla, perhaps even into other dimensions, to eternity itself. Here's my dream scenario, and I have to issue a warning here. Oftentimes, we will come up with theories and speculation that's just far more cool than anything Marvel will actually literally do. Okay? But with that said, here's what I would do. Eternity, the universe itself, the cosmic entities, the entire pantheon of the gods, the whole idea of a new universe basically broken free from its loop is really interesting. You would imagine that certain maybe entities, beings, different players within this grand game of the universe and even the multiverse, you would imagine there'd be some evil actors, some bad actors within that bunch. And because we know that the next saga is Cosmic #1, right? If it's Cosmic #1, wouldn't it be interesting if whatever the big threat is, maybe it's Annihilus, maybe it's Apocalypse, maybe it's Mad Celestials or something, maybe it's the First Firmament. Wouldn't it be interesting if that threat set off some kind of chain reaction that Thor and perhaps Jane Foster and perhaps Heimdall, that they become aware of even in Valhalla? And then wouldn't it be interesting if you got a little bit of the Dragon Ball flavor after Goku dies, where he comes back? He's dead, but he technically comes back and does stuff to try to stop Majin Buu. Wouldn't it be interesting if they had something like that going on, where Thor, Jane, and Heimdall are on some kind of a cosmic, multi-dimensional road trip vibe of a film, and they're trying to figure out what is causing this potential like big problem, or this thing where the gods are turning evil, or something crazy like that. And it's like as high concept as you could think of. You know what I mean? Like really trippy, just insane visuals. You know what I mean? Like that. And another reason that I like it is it would be similar to what happened with Loki, in a sense, where Loki gets arced out several times in the catalog, and then they rip him out after Endgame, and they arc him in a like completely different way, and it's really satisfying. So depending on what happens in like Doomsday, so think about the character of Thor. He goes through this big thing, maybe has this final sacrifice, maybe like actually makes a big impact, helps to break the multiverse free, helps to reset everything, but makes an ultimate sacrifice. And then he goes to Valhalla, and yet in Valhalla, something happens and he realizes he still can't rest, and he has to go handle even more stuff to make sure that the sacrifice he made is still going to exist, that like the universe, this new multiverse, has to still make it, and there's still a threat to it, so he has to go figure it out. It just could be an interesting way to take that character. So that's what I would do. I don't know what they'll do. I would imagine it's probably something in Valhalla, something to do with the cosmic nature of this new MCU. So that's probably what I think it is. So yeah, we'll see, right? We'll see. Thor, there's definitely a lot of cachet left in that character. Thor is a character that the comic book writers have done an incredible job revitalizing, making interesting, finding cool angles. Thor has been, the ruler of Asgard. Thor has been the Herald of Galactus. Thor has been so important that he has to stop multiversal crazy threats. There's a lot of stuff. And Immortal Thor is just kicking off now. So Thor, great character, a lot of juice left in there. I think Hemsworth is still down to play the role for a long time. So there you have it. First rumblings of Thor Quest. What do you guys think Thor Quest is, man? What do you think it is? And what do you want to see with Hemsworth's Thor? What do you think? This is a serious question, chat. Would Tony be in Valhalla? He died in battle. So he would have to die in battle in some way that the gods, the Asgardian gods, would accept him into Valhalla. So remember in Moon Knight where they die and they go to that realm with the hippo lady? Do you remember this? So I think the way it works, and we've never had this fully explained, because there's the ancestral plane in Wakanda, and if you die and you're connected to Bast in some way, like Bast will allow you into the ancestral plane, probably just if you've been a Black Panther, right? So that's like kind of a sacred, specific afterlife. There's the people in Moon Knight with her hippo lady, right? And that you would imagine maybe if you're connected to the Egyptian pantheon, that's where you go. We've seen Ragnarok. Ragnarok seems like you have to be connected to the Asgardian gods, or that. So there are definitely different realms of death in Marvel. So, yeah. Whatever cool theories we come up with, Marvel will surely do something far less cool. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the pattern. I would love for them to break out of that pattern because I think it kind of sucks. Yeah, Tawaret. Yes. Wonder which ancestral plane the Liverpool King is on right now. I don't know what that means. Oh, Dr. Cool, you're so dirty. Oh my God, Dr. Cool. Okay, can we talk a little bit about James Bond, man? Do you guys see this James Bond shit? So, Amazon bought James Bond. This happened within the last 6 to 9 months, I believe. And ever since this happened, Bond fans of cinema in general, just really curious what's going on. Technically, this is the first time that you have American control of Bond. So the other producer, and I'm not a super expert on this, but I understand the broccoli lady, she was like totally British, right? And it had like full British control of the thing. And this is the first time in the history of Bond that Americans have control of the franchise because it's now owned by Amazon. Okay, so pretty wild. A lot of questions about this. I think for anybody, when you see something like this, you're like, oh my God, what are they going to do? What are the changes they're going to make? There was even a time when people were throwing around like, a female Bond or whatever, but I don't think that was ever real. Like it was just probably something people brought up to get pissy about. And then there was a list of directors that recently came out. A lot of people being eyed for it. I know there were a lot of Bond fans that were hoping it would be Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan has spoken about wanting to do Bond in the past, but Christopher Nolan is Christopher Nolan. You know what I mean? And for whatever reason, like he was never on one of the short lists. His brother was on the short list, not him. And it just came out the other day. Let me pull the article up for you. It just came out. Denis Villeneuve, who made Dune 2 so fucking good that I went to go find out how to actually pronounce his name. Denis Villeneuve, this fucking guy is now doing James Bond. So let's look at this article, and then I'll give you some thoughts that I have on it. Denis Villeneuve, to direct next James Bond film, the Dune director will take the inaugural 007 movie for Amazon MGM. Denis Villeneuve is going from Dune to 007. The filmmaker has been tapped to direct the next James Bond movie, the first from Amazon MGM Studios. Tanya Lapointe, Villeneuve's artistic partner and wife, will serve as the executive producer along with Villeneuve. As previously announced, Amy Pascal and David Heyman will serve as producers. Some of my earliest movie-going memories are connected to 007. I grew up watching James Bond films with my father. Ever since Dr. No with Sean Connery, I'm a diehard Bond fan. To me, he's sacred territory. Oh, dude, that is what you want to hear. I intend to honor the tradition and open the path for many new missions to come, said Villeneuve. This is a massive responsibility, but also incredibly exciting for me and a huge honor. Whoa, dude. That's kind of nice to hear, man. That's kind of nice to hear. Pascal and Heyman added, Denis Villeneuve has been in love with James Bond movies since he was a little boy. It was always his dream to make this movie, and now it's ours too. We are lucky to be in the hands of this extraordinary filmmaker. Fuck yeah. Bond is one of the most sought-after franchises for filmmakers. Reportedly, directors who met for this film included Edward Berger, Edgar Wright, and Paul King. Villeneuve was last in theaters with Dune Part 2, which earned over $700 million at the global box office and several Oscar nominations. It's dope as fuck. Best Visual Effects, Best Picture, winning Best Sound and Best Visual Effects. Currently, he is in prep on the third Dune film, which is scheduled to shoot this summer. He's probably going to be writing a little bit on set now. It's unclear when Bond will begin production, but search is underway for a screenwriter who will work with Villeneuve to bring the newest incarnation, secret agent to the big screen. The new Bond will mark the franchise's 26th title and follow up to 2021's No Time to Die, which was incredible, which was directed by Kerry Joji Fukunaga and served as Daniel Craig's swan song as 007. It was an incredible movie. The film will mark the first Bond outing following Amazon's 8.45. By the way, that's about double what Disney paid for both Star Wars and Marvel of 2007's long-standing backer MGM. Now, real quick on that, from what I understand, the reason they had to pay so much because they actually like already paid for either distribution or something to get the full ass rights. Like I'm talking the full ass rights. They had to back the money truck up because they did not want to give this away. A thing is worth what you're willing to pay for it. And because of that, they had to give the broccoli people almost $9 billion, dude. What the fuck? That's crazy. In 2022, Amazon acquired MGM, which allowed the tech entertainment company the rights to distribute, James Bond films. But until last year, there was little movement due to the impasse between Amazon executives and longtime shepherds of all things Bond, Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli. In February, it was announced that Wilson and Broccoli are pursuing a deal with Amazon that would allow the studio to control creative on the future projects. So they got the distribution, but the Broccoli motherfuckers were not playing ball, so they had to give them $9 billion. Mike Hopkins, head of Prime Video and MGM Studios, commented, "We are honored Denis has agreed to direct James Bond's next chapter. He's a cinematic master whose filmography speaks for itself." Facts. Vanilla said, "I would deeply love one day to make a James Bond movie." Wow. Okay. Such a good story. Such a feel-good story, man. First of all, feels so cool for Denis. He's thought about this for a long time, ever since he was a boy, and that is just dope. You love to hear that. It's coming full circle. Manifest Destiny. This dude's fucking killing it. These movies are awesome. I'm more excited for Bond than ever, so it feels really good for that. I think it feels really good for Bond fans. Now, like most things in our world, not everybody's going to feel the same way. People are going to be divided on this. Guaranteed people are going to be divided on it. And I can even see why. He is a strange pick. You know what I mean? Like, he's along the lines of, like, if you got Del Toro to do this thing, you know, with this, like, strong sense of visual language, oozing with style. I think his most commercial film has been the Dune movies. And thank God the second one did well because the first one did not. Somebody's going to be triggered in chat. It made this much in the pandemic. It actually was successful. Point is, man, like, his Blade Runner movie's fucking phenomenal. It didn't really make money. Denis has not been able to really crack, up until recently, big box office, okay? But he's obviously incredibly talented, right? So I think people will likely be divided on this pick. For me, though, as somebody that, like, likes Bond, like, I've seen a ton of Bond, man, you know, and I like Bond. I have really fond memories of when I was a kid. They would do a lot of marathons of the James Bond movies on, like, Saturdays and stuff, so I'd, like, put them on. And, I mean, what kid didn't want to be James Bond? He was cool as fuck. He got all the ladies. He killed all the bad guys. Hello? Like, yeah, it's a winning formula, right? So I liked Bond, but I'm not like a fanatic. I wouldn't say I'm like a Bond fan. You know what I mean? For someone like me that's just kind of casually into Bond, this is the best scenario. Because now I don't just say, oh, a new Bond movie. Because, like, look, to be real, even Christopher Nolan to me would have been like, oh, so we're going to just see a really crispy, really good Bond. With Denis, I frankly think we're getting something beyond that. I think we're about to get a true visual reinterpretation of some classic Bond things. That is exciting. Okay, so I'm like, what is this man cooking? What is this man cooking? What does he want to do with Bond? Is he thinking about some futuristic science fiction type stuff? Because you know what? Bond is a tricky character in one sense, because if you push him too technologically forward, I think you lose some of the qualities that come across in, like, you know, the Fleming archetype of that character. In a sense, being old school is a little bit of the energy there, right? So it would be hard to like push Bond into an incredibly technologically advanced place without it feeling a little less Bond, you know? However, if you ever had a guy that could walk that line, that could find that balance, I think it would be Villeneuve. I'm so interested to see what he's doing. Or is he going to take it back? Is he going to give us a period piece that's just like more advanced in its cinematic language? The cameras, the angles, the conceptions of shots, the editing, right? Like I would love to know what are his broad strokes ideas for this. It just, to me, inherently feels like there's so much more interest, intrigue, mystery. The potential's very, very high, which is probably why it's a little bit, people are divided on it. You know what I mean? But I gotta say, for me, this is doing it, dude. Like, for me, this is doing it. I've now, my excitement level for the new Bond has skyrocketed simply off of this pick, which is crazy. So, yeah, there you have it. That's the report. That's my take. Would love to know what you think about that. Are you excited? Are you less excited now? How are you feeling about Bond, man? We got a Denis Villeneuve Bond. What the fuck is even life? And then let's see here. C-Dub says with a 5 spot, I feel like Denis 007 movie will pammed somewhere between Minority Report and Mission Impossible, but with a Paul Bettany or Tom Hardy type. Sounds fire. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of picking up what you're setting down here. Between Minority Report and Mission Impossible, like, I think the balance you have to strike there is like swagger, masculinity, and sort of elder statesman like swagger, and then tech that truly feels bleeding edge. You know what I mean? That, if you can strike that balance, holy, like, that's powerful. That feels like a powerful combo. But a lot could go wrong. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's interesting. Quite interesting. Yeah. You're in Costa Rica, Darth Bishop. Well, I hope you're having a good time, man. I feel like I'm in Costa Rica because of this freaking heat up here. You know what I mean? We need a Kingsman John Wick type Bond. But is that really Bond, though? You know? That they did a bit of that with Daniel Craig. They made him a little bit more like brutal action star. You know? But that's not really Connery Bond. You know? I mean, he could definitely get into a fisticuff. He's had a lot of shootouts or whatever, but Sean Connery's was like, he would pop up. You know what I mean? He'd surprise the villain. He'd like do some crazy shit and pop up again. Pierce Brosnan, they upped the action on that a little bit too. Like, there's those scenes where he's in the tank in the town. Was that in Goldeneye or the second one? Dude, those Brosnan Bonds are actually really fun. I don't know that I want John Wick Bond, dude. Like, I kind of want a Bond that really breaks people down, like at a psychological level, and he turns women. Like, I've always loved that aspect of Bond. When he gets the villainous side piece to help him out, that feels very Bond. You know what I mean? That feels Bond to me. Yeah. What was the dog clip? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, the Superman one? Yeah. Vandalf the Black says those old Bond movies had a lot of surrealistic style and themes around Roger Moore. That's Denis' language. I think he'll explore the strange. Ooh, I like that. I think I've seen one of the Roger Moores, but I don't remember which one. I feel like he was on skis. And there was a fight when they were on skis. That's all I remember. Yeah, you know, it might be a thing, and I would imagine Amazon is looking at this as well. Whenever we get a new version of Bond, I think a lot of people go back and revisit the old Bonds, and you know, Paul, you know, is doing all this high level James Bond breakdowns and stuff like that, and I think Paul is building a catalog for when Bond really pops off in the next couple of years. I think Paul's videos are, and I'm gonna watch them too. I think Paul's videos are going to blow up over the next couple of years. And I think he's actually building that content specifically for this moment, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, good on Paul. Bob's your uncle. And I bet he's excited too. This is a great pick. Soups posted a video about seeing Superman. Ah, man, was he really critical of it? You know, I had this vision because, like, the thing with Matt, and I like Matt, right? But the thing with Matt is, like, I mean, his literal name is Soups. You know, he's hanging out with him and whatnot. So it would be so shocking if Matt was like, I don't like it. You know? Like, wouldn't that be crazy? Because the conventional wisdom is like, he's going to slob on his knob. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I were Matt, I would take this opportunity to, like, be critical. You know, like, plant a flag in the ground, expand your brand, surprise your audience, like, be real, and be really critical of it. So, should we watch what Matt had to say with that in mind? See what he has to say. I do like Matt, man. I do. Wait, where is it? Is it just on Twitter? I don't see it on his YouTube. Is it just on Twitter? Where did he post it? Oh, you see it on TikTok? Brandon Davis didn't like Ironheart? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've heard some mixed things on Ironheart. Sue's reacting to watch the Superman movie last night. Okay, here we go. A minute 25? Is this it? A minute 25? I'm so shocked at how critical he seems like he's going to be in this video. Dude, this is shock. What a world. What a world, man. I did not see this coming. Let's see.
I'm alive. I'm breathing. It's the morning after, and guys, I've seen Superman.
Yo.
I want to be very careful with this video because I'm not allowed to talk
I'm
about
alive.
the film. Last night when I got home, I recorded an out-of-theater reaction, and I have so much to say.
Yeah, say it.
But I can't say it
What?
until July 7th.
The fuck?
The night of July 7th is when this embargo ends. Everyone who has seen the film is under that embargo.
So he hates
because
it.
Warner Brothers really wants to prevent spoilers getting out there, and somehow things are still finding a way. There are spoilers already getting out there on the internet. So guys, try to stay clear of it all. And I'm just feeling really grateful.
He hates it.
I'm feeling
He hates it. I can tell.
just grateful. Grateful to be alive. I'm grateful.
He survived
You
it.
guys.
Do you know what I mean? He hates it, dude.
And again, July 7th is when I'm dropping that content, and there's going to be a ton more content to come. But I kind of just wanted to make this video to let you guys know I'm safe, I'm okay, I made it, and in time we will talk about this movie.
Oh, he hates it, dude. That movie's ass. That's crazy. I cannot believe how, like, I don't know. I thought he would try to act here, but you can just tell, like, looking at, he hated the movie. I'm surprised. He probably cut off a frame at the very end where he's got, like, a straight up frown, and he's like, fuck. You know what I mean? Looks deflated. Talking about spoilers and stuff. I mean, I'm not a body language expert, but what I'm getting from this, guys, is he can't fucking believe how terrible Superman is. And it's crazy that he's dedicated his whole life and brand to Superman. And James Gunn fucked it up. I mean, again, this is just my speculation. Reading the body language of Matt, which I am in no way an expert on, but I just got a text from him and it says, "You're absolutely right. Don't say this on stream, but that shit was ass." Holy. That's crazy. So, again, didn't expect it, didn't really expect that Superman would be that bad. But, damn, that's crazy. Okay. All right, Matt. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Stay strong, man. Stay strong. The next reboot will definitely be the one. The next one, they got you. They got you. All right. What else is going on, guys? What else? Anything else? Let's see. We talked Bond. We talked Thor Quest. We talked Supermans. F4 and Superman. Can't wait. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I actually, like, all jokes aside, I'm excited for both movies. I think they're gonna be real fucking cool, man. I don't think I'll enjoy Superman as much just because, like, the gun tone is all over it. I mean, it's obvious. You look at the clip and everything, like, it's all over it. I'm hoping that I'm gonna at least be able to not be so disengaged. You gotta just accept it. You know what I mean? If you sit there and you're just gonna be grumpy the whole time, you're not gonna have a good time. So it's like I gotta go in and be like, okay, we're gonna have some silly shit in here, and it's fine. I'm just gonna get over it. We got some silly shit, and then I'm just because the action has me mesmerized, dude. Like the action looks so fucking good. The action looks so fucking good. Fantastic Four trailer views were wild. Yeah, I found there was, because I was so unprepared today, there was a segment I was going to do when I go over the numbers, because they're pretty crazy. Like yesterday, somebody brought this up. That Fantastic Four trailer is blowing up, dude. The one from yesterday is absolutely crushing it. By the way, we did a funny edit of my reaction and breakdown from the stream yesterday that'll pop on the main channel later today, and it's gonna be really funny. I glazed the shit out of that trailer yesterday, so I really liked it. Yeah, I think there's some crazy evidence at how successful the trailer was yesterday as compared to the most recent Superman trailers. Like, Superman obviously came out of the gate very, very strong, and it had a lot of people are aware of it, right? But remember, we read that one article, and the article was like, Superman, it has big awareness, but he's not getting big first choice from these surveys, meaning like a lot of people are aware, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're engaged to go see the film. So I was like, that's really interesting. That would kind of match up with some stuff that we've heard. And then I've seen some other data in Quorum, which, by the way, Quorum got acquired by one of the Hollywood trades. So I think either Deadline, I think it's Deadline. They literally acquired Quorum so that they could do some of the data shit that we do or whatever and make it proprietary. Quorum's data on Superman was really interesting, where it kind of peaked and then it started to fall off. Whereas Fantastic Four started a lot lower, but has started to peak up. It's just really interesting to watch how this is all going on. Let me see if I can find this number for you, because somebody else brought it up. And I was like, oh, wow, that is really interesting. I think it was actually Chillin'. I tagged you last night. Let me see if I can find this. You know, these are just data points, guys. Like, we're not, you know what I mean? It's not like we know for sure. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. The Superman trailer had, the newest one, had 6.1 million views over 14 days. Okay? The F4 trailer did 5.1 in 14 hours. And then you look at the TikTok numbers from yesterday, that Fantastic Four trailer did 32 million views in less than 24 hours. It's on 6.7 right now. That's crazy. So that just means that both movies had really big first trailers. Okay? Superman, huge first trailer. Fantastic Four's first trailer, very big. Did they use the Super Bowl trick again with Fantastic Four? I'm not sure. No, they did it the week of. They did it the week of, didn't they? And so they did a little pre-trailer thing, and they got it to be hyped. Yeah, so F4 they did that week, and it hit 200 million worldwide viewers. And I was like, damn, Fantastic Four did 200 million views worldwide, and it didn't do the Super Bowl? I thought that was impressive. So both films do very big opening trailers. But I think there's data to suggest that the more recent Superman trailers are not popping as much, and the recent Fantastic Four stuff is popping a lot. Who knows why? You know, it could just be the case that, like, people know about Superman. They're not really showing anything new, so it's like, okay, yeah, I've seen that. Fantastic Four continues to show new things. So it's like, first off, very, very vague. Then you get a little Franklin, a little Silver Surfer, right? Then you get, in the most recent one, a little Galactus, a little here, a little there. So it could just be the case that, like, F4 is kind of saving some stuff. Superman is not going to show you any more new stuff. It could also be the case that Superman kind of peaked in the zeitgeist and is on the decline, and Fantastic Four is still on the rise. That's absolutely possible. Yeah, it's hard to say, man. Game on. I think both movies are going to do well. I think both movies are going to relatively get the same amount of box office, but I still feel very confident that Fantastic Four will do better. You know, how much better? Not really sure. But yeah, I definitely think that Fantastic Four is going to make more money than Superman. We'll see. A lot riding on those interviews, RT scores, all that stuff, man. This is part of the Superman ad blitz campaign. What is this? Cast of Superman in Full House style. Oh, yeah, they're doing all sorts of stuff like this. Yeah. Looks all right. I don't know. Is that doing anything for you, Trev? Is that like... I guess it's kind of cool. I don't really think it's doing too much for me. You know, at this point, I'm kind of like, I'm going to see it. You know, and maybe I'll see it again. Maybe I'll see it again and again and again. But I'm kind of leaning more towards, I'll probably enjoy it. Probably won't love it. You know. But I want more of the DCU. I still want the film to be very successful. You know, because, like, I think DC deserves to have that kind of success. DC, like, deserves that. But I'm, just not sure. Just not sure how this is all going to go down. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? DC is going to be on the rise for sure, no doubt. We'll see. I mean, it seems like it is. I would say this. It's obviously doing better now than it has been in years. Okay? But there's also this thing with DC where, like, you've seen that meme of, like, DC fans online and then DC fans in the theater. And it's like, there's nobody in the theater, but everybody's there online. Will they be able to overcome that? Because that's been a thing. Only way is up. That's fair. Fantastic Four has me hooked with the 60s aesthetic. A lot of family hooked because of that too. Yeah, I think they're just nailing it, dude. It seems to be working. Seems that people are down. Superman looks trash. I thought he had super hearing. New clip is so stupid. I mean, I don't like the new clip, and I kind of have some issues too with some of those things there. But that is what it is, man. It's a silly comic book Superman film, and I still might like it. I'm gonna try to give it a fair shot. Y'all are brutal. What do you mean? I'm brutal or chat is brutal? Because chat is brutal. Chat is brutal. They treat me so bad. I'm sweaty. The humidity's high, so my hair's crazy. Why isn't everybody nice to me? I really wonder how much they paying these content creators to promote Superman. Well, some of them might be getting paid a little bit, but it's really more of like an access thing, Like, I think the truth is, like, if you're getting invited by James Gunn to stuff, like, you're just very clearly less likely to be critical of Gunn. Yeah, Coy is literally paid. That's a little different. You know what I mean? Like, he is literally an employee. But I think, you look at, like, for Matt, I don't think Matt is technically an employee or whatever. But, like, yeah, the odds that he would be even remotely critical of Gunn just seems so low, right? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's tough, man, because, like, I don't even really blame those guys, to be honest with you. And I think, like, here's what I would say. Multiple things can be true at once. And I think a lot of these people, like, I respect them as far as, like, they're content creators. They're just trying to make a name for themselves. At the end of the day, everybody's trying to, like, get attention. Everybody wants a platform. Everybody wants to, like, be the guy or be the man or whatever. I totally get it. So everybody's just trying to make their way in this crazy content world. And so I don't necessarily blame the people for doing it. What I would say to the company, though, is this is a losing strategy. Authenticity is king. This does not feel authentic. This is a losing strategy. That's my opinion. I strictly believe that, right? But I guess we'll see. I mean, maybe Superman makes $2 billion and then the joke's on me. Maybe it's not a losing strategy. Maybe everybody... I don't know, man. Jupiter says, from the quality of FF's color grade and the cinematography versus Superman is like a blockbuster versus straight to streaming DVD quality. Immersion is important. Oh, I absolutely agree. I think F4 is cleaning house in that regard. Cleaning house. But I don't think Superman... It's tough because Superman has continued to look better and better to me. So I find it difficult, like, because a lot of people bring this up. And yes, it's totally true. It does not look as good as Fantastic Four. Like, let's be real. But it is looking better and better. So it's, like, hard for me to, like, get on their case when I legitimately think the movie at moments looks really good. The action looks incredible. And I think just at a base level, it's getting better and better. So I really have a trouble, like, saying it doesn't look good. Now, if we're just talking about comparatively, yes, Fantastic Four looks better. Right? That's fair. Superman will probably triple the overseas take of Fantastic Four box office. Oh, that's interesting. So FF will do well. It has to kill Superman domestically, in my opinion. Why do you think it's going to do so much better? Because 3 times as good is, like, crazy. What makes you think Superman will pop like that internationally? China? I don't understand what you're saying. What is the highest amount of money that a U.S. film has made in China since the pandemic? I think it's like 50 million, dude. That's the highest. And I think that was a Fantastic Four movie. Let's see. Let's see if we can find this out, actually. China really doesn't do what it used to for American movies. What is the highest amount of money an American movie has made in China since, let's say, 2022? Avatar? That could be. That could be. Ooh. Damn! What the fuck? Avatar made 245 million? Now that was in 2022. Okay, let's go 2023. That's still bananas though. Bro, what? How about this? Can you list the highest 10? That's crazy, dude. What? I did not know that. Holy shit. Okay, so they can still bang a little bit. Okay, so here's what it is. Avatar 240, F9 215, Godzilla vs Kong. A lot of these were early though. Okay, I'm going to go since 2023. Hang on. Can you do this list since 2023? This is probably much lower. That is shocking to me though, dude. Like that is legitimately shocking to me. Okay, so here is a little bit of a more interesting. Here's a more interesting tale. Okay. Godzilla vs. Kong is the highest since 2023 at 132. Fast X came in at 139. Why isn't that higher? After May 2020. I don't understand that. Guardians 3 made 89, so that's actually pretty good. Spider-Man made 36. Oppenheimer made 60. Deadpool and Wolverine only made 50 in China, dude. Deadpool and Wolverine only made 50 in China. So I think what you are seeing in the Chinese box office after lockdowns was a sort of recalibration, particularly with the Disney films. Obviously, Avatar was huge there. Bob Iger gets the movies back in there. But the fact that Deadpool and Wolverine only made 50 there is like kind of crazy. So I think the Chinese box office, especially in the past couple of years, has been pretty anti-American. Like, they just don't want to really support our shit like that anymore. Now, could Superman buck the trend? Maybe. It's interesting that Guardians makes like 40 million more a year prior to Deadpool. That's kind of interesting. I don't know what that means. Maybe there's a gun thing going on there, and maybe Superman will do a lot better in China. I don't know. I would also say that so there's two things that are going on. Marvel, definitely way down in China box office, but overall, Hollywood, way down in the Chinese box office. But then again, Venom 3. Dude, what did Venom 3 make in China? Hang on. Bro, Venom made almost 90. Wow. Dude, they're all over the place. Hang on, this is crazy. What did Man of Steel make in China? Total gross of Man of Steel was only 63 million in China. Wow. I really don't know, man. I really don't know. Yeah, this is kind of wild. Yeah, in 2013, for sure. I gotta say, I don't think it's gonna make 3 times what FF makes overseas, particularly in China. Ronan, I missed your super chat. I'm sorry, but I don't go back for super chats anymore. But I appreciate the support. I bet a bunch of people saw the super chat. And if you put your chat just into the chat right now, I will read it. I'm just not going to go back. Yeah, three times is a little crazy. And I'm really curious what it does overall internationally. Huh. Yeah, man. R-rated, and that's why? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know. This is a fascinating... I mean, to be honest with you, like, this is the most fascinating matchup of the last few years for sure. Super interested to see. I think it's going to tell us a lot. It's going to tell us state of the industry a little bit, state of the comic book stuff a little bit. Does DC have a bright future? How cooked is Marvel? A lot of questions going to be answered. Prejudging Superman by body language? Are we serious? LMAO. Hey, Jordan, I told you I'm not an expert. You know what I mean? Like, my God. Oh, my God. Get off my case. F4 just be hitting on all fronts. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I mean, to me, it looks incredible. Okay, I'm going to power through. There you go. Will they gross more than Barbenheimer? I don't know. That's a good question. Am I a super chat? Do you miss me? Mike Porter, what up, brother? You are a super chat, and I miss you. Superman will have both Jurassic World and F4 taking away the audience. That's true. That's true. Did I watch the Space Marine 2 Siege trailer? Do studios really manipulate Rotten Tomatoes? Okay, so from what I understand, there was a report about this, but it was like individuals. It wasn't necessarily the studio, and also it was not for movies you think of. It wasn't for the big movies. Strangely, it was for some like smaller movies, which I guess kind of makes sense. Do they control Rotten Tomatoes? I don't think they control Rotten Tomato scores, but they certainly use all sorts of tactics available to try to make it so the Rotten Tomato score is either very friendly or not well known about. Yeah, but I don't think they like straight up manipulate the Rotten Tomato scores. Yeah. If I had money on the line, I'd be all about my investment too. Yeah, true. But the money on the line is a little bit for the content. It's like gambling, right? Like it makes it a little bit more excited to watch the game. That's kind of what we have going on here. It makes it a little bit more exciting to talk about Superman and Fantastic Four. By the way, I think Brandon Davis absolutely regrets making this bet. He has not commented, replied to me or any of the people that hit him up about it. He probably got scolded by Daddy Gunn if Daddy Gunn found out about it, which I think is silly. Brandon, just you should have fun. You know what I mean? Like it's a fun. I'm not a mean, intimidating guy. I'm being super chill about this. We made a bet. It's a gentleman's bet. It's also a $500 bet. Have fun with it. But I think he doesn't want to talk about it or address it in any way, which is fine. Because the money will still cash. The check will still cash. You know what I mean? Are there any popular IPs or mythological stories that come from China? It feels like everything from the East Asia I see comes from Japan or South Korea. They are both so much smaller. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, the Japanese imperial culture was a big fucking influence, dominated China for a time. So maybe that's a part of it. But yeah, I mean, China has a deep and rich history, of course. Yeah. Did you see the Roof Man trailer? No, I don't know what that is, bro. I like the battle between Jurassic World and Superman, even though Jurassic World has a head start. Jurassic World, I don't think Jurassic World's going to do too good, guys. I think Jurassic World's got some issues. I mean, we'll see. We shall see. China is 5,000 years old. Of course, they have stories. It's not just in the West. Yeah, China has a lot of interesting stories. It's funny because so I think of China and I think of like Japan and stuff like that. And like a little bit of me wants to talk about actually the Scythians, because the Scythians predate a lot of those cultures. And for instance, there are some certain like aesthetic things. So like a lot of people think that the Japanese culture has this affinity for purity and beauty. But what they don't acknowledge is that was actually seeded by Scythian traders. That these like orange-haired, bearded white people that took over. They actually take over Iran, and they become an empire out of Iran of a bunch of white people, and they actually establish like a lot of those ancient Japanese aesthetic appreciations and stuff. And then like if you study Zen, right? Do you guys know who Bodhi what's his name? The guy that originally brought Zen to Japan and China. It's not the Bodhi Vista, Bodhi. I'm blanking on his full name, but that dude was a white guy. And so he comes into like China and Japan and spreads all this Zen and shit. Like, I mean, they might have been aliens too. Like, they might not like actually be white people. They might have been aliens. But a lot of that ancient stuff over there, like you can see in ancient China, a lot of influences from the Scythians, and you can see that in ancient Japan as well. Bodhisattva, yeah. Yep. So, all of that history and all of that, all of that sort of cultural mixing and everything is really interesting there. But I think that there's a misunderstanding of how that culture was actually created, But yeah, of course. I mean, China obviously has a massive history, and they have all sorts of thought leaders, and there's like Confucianism and like a lot of things that come out of China. A lot of great things that come out of Japan, a lot of great things that come out of all sorts of cultures from all around the world, for sure. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy stuff. It's also interesting how Imperial Japan, for being such a small island nation, was like really oppressive. Like they fucked up a lot of people over there. It's kind of wild. Because remember, like, we didn't fight World War II against, like, the Chinese. You know what I mean? Like, it was fucking Japan over there, bro. It's kind of crazy. Any other shit that we should talk about? What else do you want to get into? Groundhound X with a 10 spot. Appreciate you, brother. Says, since you started this stream, I've gotten up, showered, went to Walmart to pick up a copy of Death Stranding 2, picked up Pizza Hut, returned home, and everything up, and you're still going. Crazy. That is crazy. And I think on that note, I got to get out of here, because now you're making me feel like I'm not living. Now you're making me feel like I'm not living. So I got to go live some life. Also, that sounds incredible. I hope you enjoyed Death Stranding 2. I didn't know it was out today, but that's cool. I'm going to be playing some Space Marine 2 today. In fact, I almost thought about playing Space Marine 2 on stream today. If it wasn't so fucking hot, I might turn Space Marine 2 on right now and do a bunch of it. But it's too hot in here. So I got to get out of here, cool off a little bit. Rivals tonight? Oh, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. So we're going to do a Nerd Avenger stream tonight. I'll be live at 7:30. I don't know what we're doing. Should we do Rivals? So yesterday, we had a situation with my daughter. We had to go to the emergency room. She's fine. She's actually like so fine that it's like fucking annoying, but she's so fine. But it was a terrible fucking experience. It took the whole day. It was awful. So, couldn't stream last night. So had to push the stream to tonight. We will stream at 7:30. And we will, I don't know what we're going to do. I told you guys last night I was going to have a surprise for you. And the surprise was going to be that that I was going to be playing Warhammer. I had a buddy that was like, oh, I want to play Warhammer tonight. And I was like, oh, dude, we can totally play Warhammer tonight. I was going to do it on stream, where I was going to be like, come up on stream and then we'll do like a regular thing. And then I was like, oh shit, let's play some Warhammer. I don't think he can play tonight, so I'm not going to play tonight. But yeah, let's kick it tonight. Let's figure out what we're going to do. I don't know if I want to play Rivals, okay? Only because it's been a week. Okay, it's been a week. I'm kind of stressed. A lot of shit going on. Maybe we just chill tonight and have some drinks and talk shit on Superman? That kind of sounds cool to me. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you guys tonight at 7:30, and we'll have some fun. That I can guarantee. I got to get out of here, though. It is fucking hot. It is fucking hot. All right, everybody. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Hey, good choice, Chet. Good music choice, Chet. Well done. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Leave. Oh, man. Another happy landing. Another chill-ass day. You know, I was fucking disheveled today, unprepared. But you know what? We made it happen, baby. Woo! We got her done. And we got some clips out of it. We had some laughs. We had some good times. You know what I mean? Fuck it. We ball, baby. Even on my off days, twice is better, half the effort. Hell yeah. Fanjector says maybe tomorrow we'll have a real stream. What the fuck? The fuck? I'm gonna get a body language expert to analyze all of James Gunn's interviews. I think that's. Should we do that? That'd be fun. Okay, hey, thank you, and do me a favor. Do me a favor on the way out. Open up your third eye and wash out your stinky butt. I'll see you later.